Alright guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to go over the matches from today and talk about the 16 matches tomorrow. The 16 winners from today's matches are going to be playing the 16 seeded players tomorrow over 2 sessions in the afternoon and the evening. Everyone left in the tournament has a tour card. All the host nation qualifiers are out, and the only 2 Germans left in the tournament are Ricardo and Martin Schindler. 5 of the tour card qualifiers are still in the tournament. That's Steve Lennon, Jeffrey Dwan, Richard Vienstra, Germaine and Cameron Menzies. Let's take a quick look at the bracket here. Match number 1. We have Ross Smith versus Brendan Dolan. Looking at today's stats for Brendan, he won 6-2 against Alan Suter, 4 180s, a 94 average against Suter, who wasn't really playing that well, an 83 average. 94 is still pretty good. 4 180s isn't bad in 8 legs. Let's take a look at his stats. Let's take a look at his yearly stats against Ross Smith. Let's see, 96 average versus 92. The 180s are way more for Smith. Checkout percentages are the same. Smith has a little bit higher scoring power on the power rankings. Gotta go with Smith on this one, just because he's going to outscore Brendan most of the time. I'm going to say 6-4. 6-4 Ross Smith. Match number 2 is Josh Rock versus Richard Vienstra. Vienstra won 3-6 today against Oliver Mueller. 180, and he averaged 87 against another 87. Checkout percentage was 35. Let's take a look at his stats against Rock. Slightly higher average in 180s from Rock. Checkout percentages are the same, and their power rankings are the same. Rock really hasn't been himself lately, so it's kind of hard to tell how good a form he's in, but I think he's going to take this one down 6-4. Match number 3, Chris Doby versus Kristoff. Doby won 6-2 today, 3 180s. He took out a 170, and he averaged 103. Looking at his stats against Kristoff's, 97 average against a 94, 463 180s, much higher power scoring. You gotta say Doby takes this down. It's gonna be close though. Kristoff usually fights back. It's gonna be 6-5 or 6-4. Match number 4. Ricardo versus Ryan Joyce. Joyce played pretty good today. 8 140s and 95 average. It's impressive with no 180s. 54 checkout percentage. It was pretty good. He took out a 150 checkout in the first leg. Let's see how it compares to Ricardo. They're pretty much dead even, other than Joyce is checking out. And power rankings are dead even too. I'm going to say Joyce takes this one down. He's already warmed up from today, and I think Ricardo's not going to like the whistling that Joyce is going to be seeing. He's going to be too focused on telling them not to whistle. And I think Joyce is going to take it down. Ricardo's going to get in his own head, and that's going to be it. Match number 5, Stephen Bunting versus Germaine. Germaine won 6-0 against Franz Roach today. 180, 85 average. He was playing against a 76 average though. I watched it. I didn't realize it was that low standard of a game until I'm looking at the stats now. Let's look at comparative stats. Yeah, Bunting's going to take this one down. He's just too much of a power scorer for Watermain to handle here. I'm going to say 6-3 or 6-2 based off if he's going to shoot another 85. Match number 6, Ryan Surl versus Steve Lennon. I predicted Lennon to lose. I predicted Lennon to lose in the first round, but he ended up taking it down. He had a checkout percentage of 42, which is way better than I imagined. 0 180s, 4 140s. That's really not going to do it in a 6-3 match. When you're playing Ryan Surl, 86 average is not going to do it. He's not going to win this match, I don't think. Looking at the averages, 95 to 92, that's not bad. He's just getting outscored and higher checkout percentage and higher power scoring. Yeah, Surl takes this one down probably 6-2 or 6-3. Match number 7. Rob Cross versus Daryl Gurney. Daryl made easy work of James Wade today. He won 6-3, 4 180s, 8 140s, 97 average. He played really well. 50% checkouts. I said if he hits his outs, he's going to beat Wade, and he did. Let's look at the stats. Cross is obviously one of the top players in the world. But even then, Daryl's still standing up to him. I think the way Cross played Thursday night against Wright when he lost in the Premier League, that's not going to hold up to how Daryl played. I think this is a coin flip here, and I think I'm going to lean Daryl on this one. He's got the confidence going. He knows Cross probably played bad on Thursday. I think he takes it down 6-5, 6-4. All right, next we have Dirk Van Dijvenbode versus Nathan Aspinall. Aspinall took the match down 6-2 earlier against Michael Unterbuchner. 2 180s, 7 140s, 46% checkout, and a 93 average. Let's compare that to Dirk's stats. They're pretty even here. Checkouts, 180s, and averages are pretty much identical. Nathan just has the TV power scoring, and he plays in the Premier League. He just plays a little bit more. Dirk's getting over an injury still. I think Nathan takes it down 6-5 or 6-4, but I think it's going to be a banger. That's number 9. Cameron Menzies versus Michael Smith. Menzies won a great game today. De Decker almost hit a 9-darter, but he still lost 6-4 to Menzies. 4 180s, 10 140s, 98 average, 50% checkouts. That's great stuff, and he beat a 96 average, so you can't really argue with those numbers. If Smith doesn't show up, Menzies takes this out if he can play the same. Smith tends to not show up the first round of tournaments. Yeah, Smith outscores him, better checkouts, averages are the same, TV power rankings are better for Smith. I think if Menzies shows up, it's going to be 6-5, 6-4, one way or the other. My gut tells me Smith's going to come out and beat him. Menzies is probably going to be having too many beers tonight to celebrate. I think Smith's going to be ready for that, and I think he's going to take it. But I wouldn't rule out the possibility of Smith not showing up and Menzies taking it down. I'm going to say 6-5 Smith. All right, match number 10. We have Danny Noppert versus Gian Van Veen. Van Veen beat Barney today. 5 180s, 13 140s, and a 96 average against a 95 average. He won 6-5 in a last leg decider. It was fairly close the whole way, and they took out double 8 7 times in a row. I watched it. It was pretty amazing. Watch that match again. Double 8 7 times in a row. Looking at their stats, Van Veen's got way more 180s. Otherwise, they're pretty much identical. If Noppy comes out swinging, it's going to be a really good match. Van Veen took 2 or 3 legs today to get warmed up, and then he started shooting really well. A lot of 140s, a lot of 180s. I'm going to lean Van Veen because he has the experience on the stage already in this tournament this weekend. I'm going to say 6-5 or 6-4 Van Veen. Match number 11. Looks like the price is right on this one. Peter Wright versus Gerwyn Price. Wright played awesome today. I expected him to lose. I predicted him to lose. He averaged 104, 4 180s, 14 140s, and a 67% checkout. He's using these new darts he said he wanted to bring on Thursday to Premier League, but he ended up leaving them in his practice room. So who knows what he would have done if he brought them on Thursday. He won 6-3 against D'Souza, who averaged a 96, which is pretty incredible to win, to beat someone playing that well. But then you got to look at the numbers here. Price is averaging 99, 180 more 180s, and he has a higher checkout percentage. And he's way higher, 66 points higher on the TV power rankings. You got to go Price here. Wright showed lulls in his game a little bit throughout the match against D'Souza, and I think Price really wants to get a win in. You know, like he's been playing good, he just hasn't been pulling off the wins in the Premier League. I think he takes this one down 6-3 against Wright. I hate to say it, and I know Wright might prove me wrong and play his ass off again, but I gotta go Price on this one. Match number 12. Luke Humphries versus Luke Woodhouse. Woodhouse played great today. 2 180s, 8 140s, 94 average, 50% checkouts against a 90 average. Played pretty good. He won 6-5. But he's up against Humphries. So 99 average, 660 180s. It's just nuts. 42% checkout, 2,005 points on the power rankings. Yeah, so I'm going to say 6-3 Humphries, not waste anyone else's time. Match 13, Damon Hedda versus Martin Schindler. Schindler won 6-1 against Sedlak. I'm not going to try to pronounce his first name. It's not even on there, so 2 180s, 9 140s, 92 average. That's pretty good. That'll beat a really good player if they're off. But Damon Hedda typically isn't off. Let's see. Other than the 180s, they're pretty much identical. Damon Hedda is going to be trying to outscore Schindler. Honestly, this is a battle of who can hit their doubles, and who wins the bullseye in the backstage, because it's going to be a close one. I'm going to say Hedda takes this one down 6-4. Match number 14, Michael Van Gerwen versus Jeffrey Dwan. Dwan won a 6-5 match against Matthias Ehlers today, and Ehlers was averaging 81. That's not saying much. Dwan's average was 87, 3 180s, 37% checkout. Not going to hold up against Van Gerwen. Not going to waste anyone else's time. You can look at the stats here. It's going to be 6-1, 6-2 Van Gerwen, I think. Match 15, Dave Chisnall versus Dimitri Vandenberg. Vandenberg played pretty good today and snuck out a win against Clemens. I didn't think he was going to win that match, but he did. 5 180s is pretty good. 14 140s, 100 average. Can't argue with that. His checkout percentage could have been better. Taking a look at the stats against Chizzy, 95 average, more 180s for Chizzy. Dimitri's checkout percentage should be a little better, but it's not. I think Chizzy takes this down. He's going to be calm, cool, and collected, and I think Vandenberg's going to be getting whistled at again. Yeah, he was getting crushed in the last leg. I'm surprised he could snuck out that win. Chizzy 6-4. All right, match 16, the last match. Clayton versus Cullen might be the best match of the day. Cullen won 6-2, took out a 141, 99 average, 5 180s, 10 140s. That's all pretty good stuff. Let's take a look against Clayton. Clayton's been in a low lately also. These stats are from the full year, so I think lately he's been playing a little worse than this. Cullen's going to take this one down. I think he's just going to beat him on the doubles, honestly. It's going to be 6-3 Cullen. All right, guys. Let me know what you think about my picks, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace.